Scanning for audio.
Welcome to yet another Tin Dog podcast. I'm going to be talking about The War Doctor Rises, Fear of the Light, which apparently is The War Doctor Rises release number 5. It's what would have been at some point a 3-disc set. In fact, there's been 1,000 of these printed, so if you want one of the limited edition CDs, you know where to go. Let's have a look at the synopsis and I'll give you some thoughts. No. Still can't quite get that voice, but I'm getting there. No, he's not. Move on. Shall we go on? In the midst of the Time War, can the Doctor work with the Rani to change the future of the universe? So it's 5.1, the Twilight Enclave, 5.2, the Frozen Wastes, and 5.3, the Burning Lands. So in the first one, fleeing the Daleks, the Doctor sends a distress call in a desperate need of rescue. It's answered by one of his oldest friends and deadliest foes, the Rani. 5.2, the Frozen Wastes. The Doctor must consider the unthinkable. Can he set the differences aside and work with the Rani on a project that could change the future of the universe? 5.3, the Burning Lands. The Rani stands on the brink of success. The future of the universe is about to change. Okay, so my favourite Rani is Siobhan Redmond. Okay, it's been a while since she's been around, but it's just gorgeous that we've got her back, because I honestly didn't think we'd be getting her back at all. She's done a handful of big finishes, and indeed she did one of the Comedy Playhouse, and she's popped up in Jeremiah Bourne. But you've got Planet of the Rani with the 6th Doctor, you've got the Rani Elite, and I'm pretty sure she also does some stuff in a few others, but basically that's where we're at. I'm a huge fan of her portrayal, and why, I hear you ask, do I like hers? Well, the Rani can be a camp joke, okay? I mean, bless Kate O'Mara, right? But that costume she was wearing, yeah, we are told repeatedly, okay, she's good in the first story, but that's true of a lot of Doctor Who villains. We're told that she's a scientist, okay? So she's amoral. Now, amoral's really difficult to write. If you've got good guys and bad guys, they've got motivations. But the Rani's motivation is her own scientific, knowledge, really. She wants to dissect what's going on. She wants to learn. She wants to know more. She is a genius, a genetic craftsperson. The Tetraps are her creatures. And we've had run-ins throughout the time. We also know that she's investigated and learnt about lots of other things. Now, there are some Doctor Who things that basically annoy people. Why do regeneration? Why is it all sparkly now when it used to be just a bit blurry? We know let's do the whole Watsonian thing where the in-show reason is one thing and the production is another thing, okay? But that's the sort of stuff that's really, really mined in this story. And you know what? The story does not make you go, oh yeah, they're just doing that because it's annoyed the writer. No, they're doing that because it's annoyed the Rani. They're learning about how regeneration works, about what's going on. In fact, at its core, regeneration and what it means to be yourself is definitely a theme one of those things you get taught when you in various writing courses is that you need to pin up somewhere, or always have in your mind, what are the themes of the piece. Now, a lot of people find this a bit annoying, because what you do is you can write a piece and then come back to it and go, oh yeah, I can see the themes now. Conversely, stuff written centuries ago, decades ago, if you're in a classroom and you're dissecting the work, and the person at the front's going, well, I think you'll find the major themes in this story are this, and I think the author meant this or that. And you're like, did they though? Or did they just want to write a story and make some money? Or something along those lines. So saying that certain themes are prevalent or needed or used in a narrative piece, it's always a bit shaky on the shaky ground. Now, obviously, we could, phone up Roxana Patel and go, hey, what did you mean by this bit? Or why were you investigating that? But luckily, we've got the extras, where there's an interview. And Roxana actually talks about this sort of thing. Because the Rani is a deeply interesting character. If you take her down to her nitty-gritty, her motivation, her need to learn more, the fact that she doesn't really care about the Time Lords at all, because all they did was provide her with a life, and she was the one who became the genius and moved on from that. One thing that is worthy of mentioning in this story is the Daleks. Because, let's face it, we all know that in the past, the Daleks were voiced by the bloke who did Zippy from Rainbow. And some of these Daleks in this story have been experimented on by the Rani, almost giving them the human factor, so to speak. I don't want to spoil any more stories beyond that, but they're not your normal, average Dalek. I mean, let's face it, there's a picture of one on the front of the box. But the important bit to remember is Zippy, because there's at least one point where Nick Briggs is acting his little socks off, and he sounds far too much like Roy Skelton doing Zippy, doing a Dalek. And it's a beautiful homage, or just plain weird. Either way, it works for me. It's a thoroughly enjoyable story. I mean, I cannot fault it at all. For all of those people out there saying, oh, Doctor Who's dead, oh my God, we're all waiting for this mystical announcement, oh, they've recast the Doctor without telling on, oh, they've secretly filmed the Christmas special. Let it all go, man. Just let it go. Beautifully constructed, well written, well performed, gorgeous Doctor Who is out there. All you have to do is listen and not watch it. Because that thing about it being a poison chalice on TV, well, you know what? It is. People might not want the job. It's an expensive hobby. Doctor Who is an expensive thing to make. Yes, the BBC like having it, but all that disappointment you've experienced as a fan, you know the feeling. Oh, if it's going to be terrible, will everyone just take the mick? Look, I've got a tiny TARDIS on my lanyard at work, okay? And absolutely no one has commented on it in the 6 months I've had my new job. No one's even noticed. This is how things used to be for a Doctor Who fan. You could be a secret Doctor Who fan, and you have to leave secret messages for other Doctor Who fans to find you, to find your clan. We're returning to that. So perhaps nature's finding a way, and we're going back to that world where Doctor Who fans will find each other and be able to talk to each other, because it's not on the TV all the time. I honestly wouldn't mind if it went away for a few years, perhaps even a decade. Everybody's like, oh, no, but Doctor Who needs to be back on TV. Does it? Take away my Big Finish and I will sob to high heaven. Take away Doctor Who on TV the way it was, and I'll just go, oh, fair enough. Right. If you want good Doctor Who, this is it. Jonathan Carley's performance is magnificent because he nails the journey that this person, Theta Sigma, is going on in this story. Absolutely superb. Siobhan probably won't be doing any more, but you just don't know, because let's face it, it's a time travel show and things don't happen in the right order at the best of times. I adore her version of the Rani because she's a scientist. She's not stupid. She's not someone who's going to go, I know, I'll bring back Omega the dog for no reason. At all. I loved it. Here's the trailer. Decide for yourself, as always, because I'm not going to force you. What I'm going to say is this is yet another cracking outing for Jonathan Carley's Doctor. More, please, as always. Hello. Right, okay, the BBC have just done a press release. I have a copy of it here about the future of Doctor Who. Bear with while we go through it. Today we're announcing an update on the plans for the future of Doctor Who. As part of securing the next phase of the show's future generations, and in line with the BBC's charter and agreement requirements, the BBC will put Doctor Who out to competitive tender this year. Do you have enough money to buy Doctor Who? Because you could be the person who owns Doctor Who. Ish. We'll come back to you. Doctor Who remains an important part of the BBC, and this tender underpins the BBC's commitment to Doctor Who, ensuring audiences will enjoy the show for years to come. We can't afford Doctor Who. After careful consideration, the BBC, Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf have collectively decided not to go ahead with the previously announced Doctor Who Christmas episode. There will be no Christmas special this year. That's come as a surprise to no one. This decision was not taken lightly, and we know it will be disappointing for fans. In order to set the show up for future series, it was decided that rather than bridge the gap with a one-off special, we are choosing to push forward to invest in the long-term future of the show, which ensures that when the TARDIS lands once more, it does so in all of its glory. The previously announced, and this is very important, the previously announced animated Doctor Who series for CBeebies is currently still in production, and that is still in production. Details of the tender will be announced in due course. The BBC retains all IP of Doctor Who. BBC Studios will continue to lead the global distribution of Doctor Who, as well as licensing, consumer products, digital immersive experiences, all on behalf of the BBC. Basically, the BBC own Doctor Who. They are going to put it out for tender. Now, here's the thing. Do Bad Wolf not want it anymore? Or if they do, are they going to offer less money? And what's going to happen to the standing set? And a host of other questions that I'm sure will occur to us all. But basically, Doctor Who Christmas Special is not going to be on. It's not going to be made. And Billie Piper, as far as the world's concerned, is the current Doctor. Yeah? I'll let you all stew on that. And leave me a comment and tell me your thoughts. Be seeing you.
Temporal torpedoes! That's a Dalek assault cruiser. We'll never outrun them in this thing.
I am aware of that, which is why I'm sending a distress call.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The War Doctor Rises. Fear of the Light.
Mayday! Mayday, we're under attack and in need of assistance.
Mayday received. I have your coordinates.
It can't be.
And yet, it is.
The Rani!
Scanning for Gallifrey and biodata match.
In your own time.
The Rani, Category 10, Time Lord Renegade.
Defenses are primed and ready.
A Tetrap?
Not exactly.
We exist to serve the Rani.
He abandons the Doctor to become what?
A warrior.
The outcome of the Time War has already been decided.
Nonsense!
Gallifrey will fall.
Transduction barrier down! Sky trenches failing!
And perhaps what you need right now is a friend.
Gallifrey loses the war.
Or at least, a colleague. Someone who can keep up with you.
An opportunity!
I still say we should kill him. Push you on and guide you.
I'm listening.
Together you can do it. Just like the old days.
This is how it ends.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. All topics discussed are the intellectual property of the copyright owners. No infringement is intended. Why not follow the show on Blue Sky at tindogpodcast.bsky.social. If you've enjoyed this podcast on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.